My name is Lightstar. For those of you guys that don't know who I am Lightstar, and I'm really excited to be on here talking today. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. Yeah, I am here to talk about some light codes. Okay, so for any of you that don't know who I'm a visual attunement artist, or to call it attunement art, which some of it is behind me. We're going through a little portal today as part of my Atlantean libraries behind me. I'm also a light language activator. So I do also music with my light language and a lot of other session work that I do to clear and chakras and all that stuff. So yeah, dolphins, right? Everyone loves dolphins. Who couldn't love the dolphins, right? Energetically. So a lot of Lemurian energy coming in. I hope you guys are enjoying this content, and if you are, or if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. And YouTube likes to call it subscribe. I like to call it joining the tribe or joining the community. I think that sounds much better and more inviting. And if you are down there clicking around, make sure you hit that like button on the video and give it a thumbs up. And also share the content out to people that you know would be interested in this type of material and content. And make sure you comment and engage. I love to engage and interact with you guys in the comments section. And make sure that you click the notifications bell so that you won't miss a thing when new videos come out. So I wanted to talk today just a little bit about the light codes and what I feel, not just what they are, because I believe everyone probably is familiar with what light language is by now. Over about a decade and a half ago, wasn't as much as on the planet, but I feel like I was one of the first initial people to usher that light language in. And I speak about 20 plus light languages. So I'm kind of one of the few people that actually speaks a lot of different light languages. I think a lot of you guys are familiar with what light language is. So pop it in the comments and say yes. And, if you are, thumbs up, whatever. Oh, and my oracle cards, someone, Tanya, she loves my oracle cards, which are awesome. Yes, they are my oracle cards. Beautiful, awesome, and very powerful. And yes, 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 a lot of you know what light language is. So I'm not going to go into what it is specifically. Although I will say one thing for those of you that don't know, I see light language as a language of the heart, the language of the soul. Okay, the energy of the soul, frequencies come in, and that is what it transmits in many different ways, because light language can transmit via codes through speaking and singing, or it could be toning, or it could be signing, or it could be drawing or hand coding. Some of the codes that are in my image here, which have to do with, which is really divine light codes, okay? But what I want to, and thank you, my t-shirts and stuff, and personal sessions. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Honored, truly honored for you guys. So what I want to talk about light codes in a different way today, which is basically what I feel, how they heal, okay, how they help us heal. And really, if you think about it, are codes that we are made up of matrix light codes, these little codes, these little strands, binary code even, but we're made up of divine light codes. That's our matrix. And that is the nature of how we come into manifestation in this physical body, right? This physical form here. We come into this body, and how we come into form is through these codes, okay? Sacred geometry, light, sound, color, vibration, all of it is here, okay? And some of us see those bandwidths a little more. I think Mark, I was in here when I was listening to Mark about the spectrum of light and color. I don't know that I am for sure because I've not been tested, but most likely I'm probably what he called the tetrachromat or something. I don't know. I see so many different types of colors that maybe other people don't see, and that comes through my art. And that is through codes. Those are divine codes. And so the frequency of them, they really are, it's an intelligence that we are. It's who we are, okay? And they don't necessarily, the codes aren't there to really like, they repair and they help us, but everybody's using the divine frequencies of codes in different ways. As you know, some people just speak it. Some people actually, come in and do healings with it. Some people are doing it for blessings, and some people are doing it for sound healing, and so many different facets to these light codes. But I feel like it is my belief that we are moving. This is just my feeling on this. And when I started to do light language and it started to come out when I was 9, okay, I didn't know what it was then. Later on in life, I started getting more and more and more and more. And I had to take a couple years to really decipher what all these languages were. For me, I was seeing where they were coming from versus the galactic or the angelic or the elementals, or where they were coming from. And so it runs the gamut there of all the different types of frequencies that we get and who we are. But I feel like it's important that I feel we're going in a different direction with light language now that it's kind of on the planet. It wasn't before. And now, part of my job, one of my jobs, was to help to bring it on the planet. Well, now that it's here, it feels like the next sort of iteration of that divine light codes or divine light expression is to really more look at it in terms of the sacred geometry, shapes and codes and lights and color, that we are, instead of like your name being just, I am, Mary or Stu or John or whatever you align with your name, that you are actually now going to be aligned with the frequency, with the alignment of the code that you are. Okay, the example I give for this is, who knows Prince, right? Who remembers Prince, almost the best musician on the planet, right? Prince was very Pleiadian, okay? He came in with other structures too, Apollonian, but Pleiadian primarily, but he was here. And I feel like that is an emulation of where a lot of us are going in terms of remember the symbol that he went by, that little code that he represented himself. Well, that's where I feel a lot of us are going. And I feel like we're going to start to see a lot more of these codes coming in as personal sigils, personal energetic sigils and light codes to be representing who we are more in an energetic way rather than just, by name. That's just my feeling on that. Okay. And someone has a question here I want to answer. Does each person have different codes, or do they resonate with all beings since we are all one? That's a great question. I feel like when you're talking about the all one, a lot of the times I also talk about, I talk about the mother tongue, which I feel everyone has the ability to speak what is your mother tongue. I call it that because that is the energetic frequency of you talking directly to God, spirit, source, whatever you want to call it. But that's what you're really dialing into directly and speaking to that directly. So that is like the sort of source code, if you will, but everyone's might sound a little different. So it's not going to be like exactly the same for everyone. It's going to sound different when you are speaking that, but everybody does have a certain uniqueness to their mother tongue, their code, their oneness connection to the frequency of all that is, that types of things. I feel like that's where we're going with our frequency, though, is remembering who we truly are in the all that is, all is one type of energy, right? And it's interesting that I feel I came on here a couple earlier, so I just heard a few people, and I felt that the frequency of it was very related because a lot of people were talking about dragons and then are talking about Arcturian energy, which is what I was picking up this morning when I was tuning in here, was Arcturian energy. So I'm going to do some light language here for you guys in a minute. But then I also picked up on this collective energy of money and abundance. And it's interesting that a lot of people were talking about that too in different ways. So I kind of feel like the collective frequency that we're dealing with on the planet right now to heal, to, reshift in a way, our alignment is through how we have interacted with money. What does money mean to each one of us? How does it mean? What does it mean for us collectively? and how do we shift that energy? So I was kind of feeling that that's really what wanted to be expressed here, at least from my end of things. So I felt this touch into the Arcturian frequencies because I just say like who's going to come through or who wants to come through. I don't generally know until I'm here. And so, or right before I'm here. And so I'm feeling that is what wants to really come through here from for the primary here is the probably Arcturian. But they also are saying that in terms of it coming through just Arcturian frequencies, which to me, the Arcturians are always coming in the mind. I call it the mind field where everything's just going crazy here in the mind because it's all chaos and we have to like, just sort of get that calmer like mindset. So they like to clear the mind field. But I also feel with that is that we need to drop into our heart, okay? Because it's not just all about out here and it is really within our heart. And a lot of us on this planet have challenges with being in our hearts. And we're starting to open those back up again. A lot of us have shut them down for various reasons in our past life and our timelines, past life, past, present, future, all happening at the same time. But there's a lot of frequency bandwidth with people with having either those lifetimes where they are having trouble with manifesting with money, also the collective where things happened and in a collective way or in groups or something like that. So I feel that that's important to look at the collective, and then we need to come back into our hearts and we need to really honor that new frequency, that nuance, that new frequency that's on the planet that is the open heart field that is coming online or back online, that we are opening back up again so that we can be in a unified collective here as one unit. So, so that's what I want to do is just shift into that space of with doing the light language activation for all of those things. And also, they were saying too, in the mind space, we have a lot of thoughts and mostly thought patterns that are not always ours. Okay. So yes, sometimes they're your negative thoughts or repetitive thoughts or limited thoughts, but they can also be other people's thoughts that you're around. Okay, those empaths out there, which are primarily all of us, as the last person was mentioning too, is that when we look at that, we look at that really carefully. Other people's mindsets get lodged into our mind and our mind field. Okay, from most of us from when we're younger and our parents and the way they thought about money and the way they did that, way they use money or way they didn't use money, or way they lack or, didn't have enough or whatever it is. But that also we grow up in. And then we also have other people we're surrounded with that feel like they get little inserts into our mind field that gets embedded in there. And it sort of sullies our own mind in our own thoughts so that sometimes we think that we're thinking something about money or finances or whatever, and it's actually not our thought. It's not how we really think about it. Like if you're, really thinking that where you don't really feel this way, like for example, if you don't really feel that you can make money with, your hobby or your whatever it is. You don't have to just have a real job and then do your love and whatever you do on the side. Okay. Say you don't believe that, but you had parents that did believe that. So that's going to, sully the waters here because then you're like, well, wait a second. I don't really feel that way, but somehow it's embedded in there and it's still stuck in there. And I'm still acting out in their way, the way that they felt about it. So let's do some clearing. You guys ready? Okay. Okay. Let's do some clearing with this. So yeah, and I see like, most of the time the thoughts and beliefs aren't mine. Okay. Simone says that. That's just very true. It's very, very true. Because if you have to really look at it and say what what is mine and what is someone else's. And that's a huge question to be asking about everything. So, what I want you guys to do though is to place your thoughts, okay, about what you believe, what your money believes, what money is to you, And also some collective about what we feel money is on the planet. And it's shifting, but let's just put in right now what we kind of have been on the planet, where it's kind of manipulation and control, right? That's how it's been. So we're going to put that into the space here to just sort of clear that path away. We're going to clear some of that consciousness out of the collective and into your own personal collective as well. So when you're doing this, and when I'm speaking the light languages, and when it's coming through, it's going to go from one to the next, I believe is what I'm feeling. And so when you come in and you bring that through, I want you to just see all of these external belief systems about finances and money and the collection and what lack, insecurity, what all those things, confidence, and just kind of see it dissipating through the light language. Okay, you can see it up in your mind space if you want, visualize it up there, or just feel it and just know it. Tones might come in, whatever it feels. But most people will have a different experience about what's going on, and you're just going to see it like just dissipating. And that's what this is doing. Okay. And just don't try to figure out what everything means. Put your mind off to the side and just kind of energize, what you are feeling more and what you're sensing more rather than what is being said. Although if you do receive an interpretation for yourself, then that is for you. Okay. Then, hold on to that. But for now, let's put our mind off to the side here just for a second so we can tune in. So I want you guys to get comfortable here and just breathe, okay? Just breathe in from your nose and then breathe out. Breathe in from your lower belly, the lower abdomen area, where you just take a couple of nice, deep, soothing, calming breaths. And then just breathe out slowly and effortlessly. And just take another deep breath in. And then just release. And just let yourself feel in your body for a moment, feeling your hands and your feet, just being really present in this body and in your senses here, heightening. And placing all of the things that you would like to release of your own personal thought processes or things that are embedded into your mind space that are not yours, and just place them there for a moment. And then you just see them dissipating. Itieneni sonni kanjish ta itrona kunya ma unchaima unya inside me no night no koyam nai. Simti si sian isahi unchaya tunya mo koyena unsai si sia. Isimnia tu kinya hin so hanti in so hishta ho. Mokai te ilna lima ko ostaimna hin te ko ele stai. Shimnia unka won saim ya un saim. In si saina armo in shoete mikai. Hi saine o komia tai unhama atumniema. Si sha o koyan anma. Si tenenenasta tenenene se hosht. Hisa nananasta tarananasta hisht. Ushte hudarmia otuknia hamia taius. Usa taius. Usta tererene se tarananasa sos. Moshte wimian unumartir imti sayimni isuma ostoma. Umti siya him okoema in suhishain. Unchai sai tukoyam alme tu sahimti se wachi nihoma kaile. Insai susu shamhi tukmiati sundi ti tian anama suti shui miai wantu. Se te sananasa tananasa tadinini te tosh. Te so tananata tananane se shosh. Matir shamoy shantir antir atiata. Wakalumechem aima se shoy washta upashti itshia. Simnia disu ni tayun chai utam o kuyan tibieso nkia. Si shia as dio uchai ma wa imte witi ikam wa in sibiashi di ma kwa. Miasuba ishte wa oma kuama amasa ti. Miasu ishta ukonilai saleum maleas sudaritala ulalilandale sama unjalale lai si minala irata tunora uramananialas siran iran mari almo suve shabdi amse my saure, saurenhai, variana, alemelia, surandaitali, suyandale malas, valayendayash, shunale meliata, endiaralaisa, nariata, almes. Everybody take a nice deep breath in. Feeling these frequencies all dissipating, all the old patterns, old ways, old timelines, old past connections or lifetimes that are no longer serving in the highest frequency of who you are. As you breathe those away from the mind field and you connect with your heart once again and allowing that heart to open and blossom, allowing it to settle in the new frequencies, the new patterns, the new neural pathways that come down and embed themselves all the way down into the heart space. Feeling that energy and expression of the newness, the wondrousness of who you are, who you truly are, who you truly are. The manifestation of divine light codes here and now, being able to manifest anything your heart and mind desire. Everybody just kind of come back to the field here, coming back to your body and wiggling your fingers and toes and just like allowing yourself to come back fully and present, keeping all of these codes, all this divine energy here and in your present body and feeling that here. Whew. So that was a little bit of a clearing there. Also bringing in some Pleiadian energy that was coming in to solidify that down into the heart. So it's not just all up in the mind here. Bringing back into the heart space energetically. I'm just like, whew, sometimes when we come back, it's just a little bit like, whoo, okay. But just anchoring it in is really important for all of us right now. Super important. So I've got a question here. Amazing transmission. Thank you. Thank you. Do you have any insights in the coming financial future? Yeah, I feel that we're going through the period right now where everything is being shown of what doesn't work, right? We're seeing the manipulation and control like never before, whether it doesn't matter what side you're on, like it's best if you don't have a side anyway, but because the financial markets and all of this stuff is just really coming up to the surface as more people are seeing the corruption and seeing things happening, that I feel there's a transition period is basically what I'm feeling and seeing, is that we are in that transition period and we will get to a place where, just like the divine light codes, as they come in, they will start to shift our reality externally. Once we start to see this, that abundance, manifestation, and all these things are a natural state of being, that it will start to show up in our external world. It's just right now, I think we're in that compression state. So we're not exactly seeing it, but we're seeing things falling apart and we're seeing things coming out, partially too, because we are now entering into that Aquarian age where everything's just going to be seen. You can't hide that stuff anymore. So I see that things are shifting already underneath the surface, but we're in that sort of chrysalis phase, financially speaking, as a collective, and that is not quite shifted yet. But we are, but I feel that we will see that shift. Okay, we will see that shift. Whether it's not, timelines really happened right now. It's already happened. But nonetheless, that's there, not here, there, neither here nor there. It's already here. So we just have to accelerate it. So, that said, let's see, I guess I do have the free thing that is out there. So my free gift for you guys is it's really, my activation pack. So it's going to give you a galactic shield and reconnection guided meditation. It's only 15 minutes, but it's really helpful to do that to help to reconnect you with golden and blue light and just really good reconnection exercise to do as a meditation. And then I also have two free wallpaper, cell phone wallpaper, and also two desktop wallpaper images in there for you as a free pack. And so, 17th of month, I connected with my money neuropathies and asked the new ones to show themselves. This is what came through. Thank you for that transmission. I had on these neuropathies you shot. I saw it ripple out. Oh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. That's great. I love that. I think that's so yeah, I think that should be doing it with everything. It should have someone's saying it asking for sign in. It shouldn't have a sign in. So I believe that link should work. It's you just sign up and then it should just go to a thank you page right after that. So hopefully that's working, but we'll check that for sure. But if you go onto my website, it's on there too, like on the homepage to sign up for the free gift. So that's it. Thank you so much, Shantana, for having me on here, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, appreciate it.
Thank
Lots of
you.
love.
Thank you so much for being on. I was just gonna post your website here for everybody in the comments if they were having
Oh
issues.
yeah, lightstarcreations.com if you want to go on there. That is where the free gift as well. The link's on there as well. And all the other stuff that I have is on there too. So thank you.
Thank you. That was so powerful and incredible.
Awesome. 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 If you'd like to support my journey and helping to bring more content to YouTube and provide all this activation and goodness for you guys, please consider providing a donation to my work. And you can do that in many different ways. If you head on over to my website at lightstarcreations.com, you'll also see a donation page on there where it has many different forms for you to provide your donation. I have a vibrational giving, a certain specified dollar amount that is aligned with a certain frequency, and you can give that way. Or you can become a patron on Patreon, or you can actually just donate whatever that feels in resonance with you. And there's also super thanks on YouTube, and that is the little heart button that is next to the like button below the video, and you can also donate that way. And something that I do for anyone who donates to my work, I send a remote light language blessing of love and abundance and support right back to you. It's my way of saying thank you for your donation. And I so appreciate all of you who have donated and all my patrons. I love you guys and thank you so much for your continued love and support. And another way to support me is to just head on over to my website and make a purchase of one of my awesome products and services that I have to help you to activate and to enlighten you and to bring more light and love into your life. So head on over there and check out all the different things I have, many different types of products and services for you. And once again, I extend my love and gratitude and appreciation to all of you who have extended your support to me in the past. I love you guys and I thank you for everything.